Sometimes I think God allows us as leaders to fall flat on our face, where we've been too dependent on our own wisdom, too dependent on our own ingenuity, our own ideas. And if we don't taste failure, then we're less likely to really depend on God. I was a pastor. I was a pastor for 21 years, 17 years in Switzerland. I would go back to an incident that was just a few years into my ministry. We were going through a bit of a leadership crisis. There was a certain amount of lack of confidence in me as a leader in the church. And neither I nor the elders were terribly sure how to proceed. I felt the Lord had given me a verse from 2 Corinthians where Paul's writing about his experience. And he says, this happened so that we would learn not to depend on ourselves, but on God. And we were just much more reflective and waiting on God, I think, because, well, we'd come to the end of our own ingenuity. And that has stayed with me, and I think that lesson of dependence, that we depend on God. And I suppose the lesson of dependence, in another way, it was brought home to me very forcibly just about a year later. I was diagnosed as in urgent need of triple bypass heart surgery. There's nothing like serious illness to make you realize your dependence on God. And I found myself lying in hospital in Lausanne in Switzerland, having had this news that I was actually dangerously ill. And I'd brought a little Bible. Well, I thought, I'll go for the Psalms, and the Psalms are near the middle, so I just opened it in the middle, and it said, I will lie down and sleep in safety, or I will lie down and sleep in peace because you, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. It's Psalm 4. That was quite a verse to get when you're, really, you feel that your life is hanging by a thread. Whether it's for our leadership or whether it's for the next breath that we take, we're dependent on God. But I think, sadly, that we don't tend to acknowledge it adequately at times until we're actually brought into those situations where, well, it's God or nothing,